Are you an elementary music teacher looking for a variety of awesome PD sessions this summer? The Elementary Music Summit is an amazing event hosted by Bryson Tarbett from That Music Teacher. Today, I get to sit down and chat with Bryson about the summit. Hey Bryson, welcome and thank you for joining me on the channel.
Thank you so much. I am so excited to see what we can get into in this conversation today.
Yeah, sounds great. So today we're diving into the Elementary Music Summit, which is a free, transformative, yes, I'm saying it, transformative, 5-day virtual event. This summit it's really a game changer for elementary music teachers, offering the professional development that we really all crave during the school year. And yes, you heard it right, it is totally free. So we'll dive into everything that is included in the free ticket and also the opportunity to access amazing resources and perks, which is just going to make the coming year and years beyond easier and fun, which, just really leads to less stress, which I think we're all good with, right? So personally, I know that if I put a little time aside during the off teaching season to learn, plan, contemplate, figure things out, that I'm definitely going to thank myself later. So I'm really interested in today's discussion of learning more about the summit, what is all included, what teachers will be learning. But before we get to that, it'd be great to just learn more about you. So Bryson, give us some background about yourself, your music teaching journey, and where you are today professionally.
Sure. So, like many elementary music teachers, I always thought that I was going to be an amazing choir director at the high school level. And I went into undergrad and I realized I was so into it. I was going to take my kids to contests. We were going to be class double A. It was going to be the best.
Right.
And then I took my freshman intro to music ed course, which required us to observe classrooms. Thank goodness. And I saw a choir program that was very well done, but I wanted nothing to do with it.
Mm,
And I was like, wait a minute, I just got to school. It's been like 3 weeks that I already am having a crisis, like a career crisis. But thankfully, a couple weeks later, I ended up observing an elementary music classroom, Megan
mm,
McDonald, who completely changed my life, changed my
yeah,
career trajectory. And I fell in love with elementary music and I have been with it ever since.
yeah, that's
I actually
awesome.
spent my first year out of undergrad in a gap year working with students primarily one-to-one as an educational assistant,
Mm,
particularly students with disabilities and behavior goals.
mm,
And I absolutely loved it. I learned so much about how the school systems work, how music fits into that. And then when I transfer that into my actual music classroom, it was really nice to be able to take that to make sure that my classroom was accessible to everyone.
yeah.
Um, so fast forward, I spent 6 years in the elementary music classroom, and just as of 3 days ago, I guess, finished my final year in the classroom, and I'm here now running That Music Teacher full time, which is
That's
all
awesome.
about making sure that teachers that are in the trenches are receiving the content-specific professional development that we all want and need, but
Yeah.
quite frankly, our districts just aren't giving us.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Yeah. And that's amazing that you are taking that jump. That's a tough thing to do, right? But it's great to see that people like you are willing to put the work in to give teachers what they really need, So it's awesome to hear that. Congratulations on that.
Well, thank you.
And yeah, I it's that's so cool to hear. So it was six years you said, right? You were
Yes.
teaching in the elementary. Yeah, that's awesome. Cool, good stuff. So so let's get into the summit here. So I guess probably the most important thing is, well, when is it? So tell us, when is it? We're recording this in May, end of May, right? Of 2024. So when is the summit going to be?
Yeah, so this will be our third summer summit. We had a mini summit back in January, but this will be our third big one. And it's going to be July 8th through 12th,
Okay.
2024. It's going to be 5 days of lots of stuff going on, lots of
Yeah.
sessions that are specifically curated for elementary music teachers by elementary music teachers, giving us the information, the skills, the community, getting off us
Mm,
off of that music teacher island we always feel
yep.
isolated on, so that we can truly have our best school year yet. So again, it's July 8th through 12th. And I have to say, I think this might be the year that we just blow everything out of the water, and we could exceed all of our expectations because we've been working on this quite frankly, we are so much farther ahead than we have ever been. So I can't wait for you to see what we've
Yeah.
been working on behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's cool. So, okay, so we're talking mid-July, right? Beginning mid-July. And this is what I'm thinking, and maybe other people are thinking this too. Oh, that sounds cool, but yeah, I'm gonna be on vacation, or I gotta bring my kids to camp. I have to sit by the pool and just hang out, right? So, it's I guess I can't go. That's what I'm sure some people are thinking. So, is there a way that people can still participate with this, even if they're not able to make it to the live sessions?
For sure. Well, first of all, I want to tell you, as someone who, even as someone who dove right into my master's in the summers after starting my career, and then started doing this in the summer. If you don't want to do PD in the summer, that is fine. You don't have to. That is your prerogative, and I
Sure.
fully support that.
Right.
But if you're not able to join us live, but you still want to get that content specific professional development, we do. First of all, if you can't make us live, but you're just a little bit off, every ticket comes with free access for 24 hours to the replays.
Mm.
And then there's also an optional upgrade to the All Access Pass, which starting this year will grant you a whole year's access to all of the recordings.
Oh,
And on
nice.
top of those recordings, um, all of our speakers and some of our affiliates are submitting so many great resources that
Mm.
are normally paid products that you get as part of the All Access Pass.
Yeah.
So it's the recordings, it's the resources, it's going to be a lot of fun. In the All Access Pass, there's a lot of cool stuff going on. I've started to see the submissions starting to trickle in, and I have to say that I'm really excited about this year's pass. But again, if you can't join us live, there are definitely different options for you to get those resources as well.
Yeah, that's great. So it's not, yeah, it's nice to know that, yeah, if you can't make the live event, that it's not like, oh, you can't join us at all. It's going to be available, even 24 hours after, with the free ticket, So yeah, that's great. That's good to hear. So yeah, let's get into a little bit more of the content of the summit. So, and I've actually been a part of the summit for the past 2 years, just as a teacher, just someone looking for strategies, ideas, and it's been really great, to get these different ideas and just to kind of see how other music teachers are doing things, because sometimes I think we're all by ourselves and we're like, am I doing this right? I feel like I thought that for so many years. So it's nice to just see these other people present things, and you're going like, oh, that's a cool idea. But then you're also thinking like, oh yeah, no, I'm doing this right, so some of the presentations in the past, they've been about like centers, getting organized, classroom management, with some really great speakers like Debbie O'Shea and Aileen Miracle. And then you yourself, Bryson, you also do some presentations and many more. So what type of topics and presenters are we going to see for the Elementary Music Summit in 2024?
For sure. Well, short answer, a lot of them.
Okay.
So I love how you brought up again that isolation, because my favorite part, I don't know about you, but whenever I go to like my state MEA conference, I
Mm.
always feel so energized after I leave. And it's not just because I have new ideas, but it's because I
Hmm.
was with the energy, or and even if I didn't necessarily talk to people that were walking by, I know that they get where we're coming from.
Yeah.
And when I know that when they're giving us ideas, they're not coming from their ivory tower, or we're not trying to fit, a round peg into a square box and trying to figure all this out.
Right.
But we have so many different topics. We have a lot on differentiation and inclusion.
Hmm.
Quite frankly, a lot of our topics relate back to the 5 pillars of general music success, which really comes down to expectations and procedures, curriculum and development, pedagogy, teacher fulfillment, and inclusion and differentiation.
Yeah.
So, quite frankly, all the things that we wish we would have learned in undergrad. I know me personally, I took one class in undergrad for teaching elementary music.
Yeah.
Even after my master's in my code levels, I just felt like I needed more. As much as I learned so many great things in them,
Hmm.
you just can't teach it all, the reality. So that's why it's
Right.
so great. Why I love getting us people from all over the world. Like I said, Debbie O'Shea, she's from Australia. She's going to be joining us again. There's We get people in these different perspectives, so we can take the bits and pieces that we think will work, or that well, I think that resonates with me most, and then we can continue to tweak on it and make it our own secret sauce.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. I love that. That's so cool. And yeah, and it is neat to uh be associated with other people who are from different countries. I mean, people from all around the United States, of course, but then all around the world. It's really cool to get those different perspectives and see how they do things down there. So, um, something that I think is really important to discuss is how well the online platform is organized and easy to navigate. So there might be someone out there who's like, ooh, an online thing. I don't know. I'm not too comfortable. We went through the whole pandemic and they may have had problems with Zoom and problems that, it's just like, I'm not going to do that. But I must say that the platform that you do it on is very well organized. And it's easy to navigate. There's a lot of cool things going on. And I can just tell that you spend a good bit of time making sure that it all makes sense and that it works. And I'm sure that takes a lot of time. So could you tell us more about like the platform? So I log in, I get in there, and then like what am I going to see and what kind of features do you have in there?
I'm so glad that you are finding it useful because we've been spending a lot of time making sure that user experience is simple.
Mhm.
Um, Quite frankly, our first summit we hosted, every single session had its own Zoom room, and it was an absolute mess to the point where 20 minutes before the first session on the first day, I accidentally deleted every single meeting. Um,
Oh no.
so we've definitely simplified it. Honestly, what we do is we will send out a link every morning. It is the same link which will take you to what we call the main stage. That main stage will have everything you need on it. It'll have the live stream, it'll have the chat box, and then it'll also have all the community aspects of it. So we have different circles, which are basically essentially like topic themed groups and chats where we can chat about things when we're not in a live session. Kind of think
Mm,
of those as the kind of
right.
maybe the breakout rooms between sessions.
Yeah.
But really, all you need to do is if you plop yourself in front of that main stage, everything else will happen for you. You don't need to go anywhere else. We will worry about everything here in Elementary Summit HQ, where we will make sure that everything gets out from you. Again, I'm so glad that you are finding that platform helpful, because when we found it, we were like, this is going to be so much better, so much easier. And quite
Yeah.
frankly, we had some issues and we had to learn from it.
Sure.
But we've implemented some things that'll make it a lot easier. We're also bringing on a little bit more support staff to help us when things start to go, or if things start to go a little awry, or if you get lost.
Hmm.
We should be able to help you out. We're implementing a new like live chat support thing, which will be really helpful during the event.
Great.
So hopefully, everyone will get to where they're supposed to be very simply.
Yeah, that's cool. It didn't even seem like there was like you had like games and things that people were doing, right? Where I feel like if you're commenting on certain things, you get points. Am I right about that? That was something
Yeah,
that
we
was
have
good.
challenges,
Yeah.
we have leaderboards. We just finalized our
Yeah.
first draft of all of our like challenges and giveaways internally here today. So there'll be lots of giveaways and things to
Right.
keep you involved, to keep you engaged, to keep you talking. Because again, sometimes we need a little bit of a push to get off of that music teacher island. But
Hmm.
once we start sharing and interacting, that's where we all, even the attendees, that's my favorite part about this summit. The attendees start sharing what's working in their classroom,
Right.
and it becomes that impact is so much bigger than the 25 speakers. It's
Right.
the thousands of people that are coming for the event, they're able to share what's working and what they need help with, and it really becomes this community of music teachers building each other up so that they can have the best school year yet.
Yeah, that's cool. And what I like about that too is, I mean, I'm involved with involved. I'm just a part of different elementary music teacher groups on Facebook and things like that. But really that you don't see everything that's going on there, right? The algorithm is feeding to whatever it is that you seem to go towards. But with something like this, it's all there and it's all elementary music teachers sharing things and doing things. And so I just thought it was really cool how you had these different games and all of this going on in there. It wasn't just like, okay, you just log on and sit there and watch a video, right? Or a live session of someone. Like there's a lot of different things going on. And yeah, I just wanted to point that out to make sure that people know that it's like a little music party in there,
Yeah,
So
we really wanted to take all of the best elements of in-person PD, like the collaboration and the community and the
mhm,
the games and the fun, and then take out the things like having to travel and really just make it the best of both worlds. I mean,
yeah.
I am fully aware that sometimes online PD for elementary music isn't the most applicable just because of the way
Sure.
we do.
Right.
But I also have seen my speakers really make things that should not work virtually work really well
Yeah.
virtually.
Yeah.
Like folk dances on Zoom. Whoever would have thought we could learn about folk dances on Zoom? But it's
Sure.
been done. And I don't know about you, but early in the pandemic, everything went online.
Yeah.
And we saw both ends of the spectrum when it came to events that shifted virtual.
Yep.
So I'm really thankful that my team and my speakers have worked so hard to make this actually matter and actually really be helpful, and not just
Right.
a thing that we do in the summer to check off boxes, but to really give us those tools and those strategies so that we can try something new, or feel confident in what we've already been doing, or just frankly get around other people so that we have a little bit more energy when we start the
Yeah,
year.
exactly. Right. Yep. And you definitely feel that energy in there. So that's awesome. So you do offer this all access pass. You've mentioned that a couple times. Yeah, which includes like an insane amount of resources. I did get the all access pass last year, and it was great. There's just tons of really cool things in there. And it was, very reasonable too, the amount of stuff that you get. And this year, a few of my resources will be included in the all access pass. So I'm, real excited to be a part of that. So tell us more about the resources and the perks that teachers would expect to get in the all access pass.
Yeah, so full transparency, as we're recording this, I don't have all of them yet. We still have speakers still have a couple of days to get them into me, but
Yep.
typically we see like teachers pay teacher resources bundles that are typically things that you pay for that are submitted,
Yep.
or mini trainings. We see a lot of um, lesson plan guides, workbooks, things like Stephanie Level likes to include some of her favorite songs and kind of things like that. Again, these are the point of these resources isn't to give you more stuff. We all have enough stuff, especially when we
Mm.
leave it when we leave a session or a workshop. We always have stuff. We put it in the folder of shame and never look at it. The
Yeah.
point of these resources is to allow you to take action on what you saw and take it that next step, so that again you can up level your teaching, you can make your classrooms more accessible, and then it all comes back to the central thing of how can we have our teachers have their best school year yet? And
Yeah.
that's what I'm asking our speakers and our affiliates like you to submit things that can help them reach goal.
Yeah. Well, great. So I'll put a link in the description box. So below this video, just check out the description box. And that is where all the music teachers can grab their free pass to the Elementary Music Summit. It's totally free. Just scroll down below this and sign up for this amazing 5-day Elementary Music Summit. And Bryson, thank you so much for being on the channel here. And if there's anything else you want to tell us about, this would be the time to do it. And also tell us where we can connect with you too.
Yes. First of all, thank you so much for having me.
Sure.
And if you, the viewer, are like watching this in the future and the summit's already happened, if you
Mm,
go to that link, it'll take you to our waiting list. So you can always join us for our next event as well.
yeah. Cool.
But the best place to reach me is over on Instagram at that music teacher. That's where I spend most of my time. Um, but again, I hope to see you inside that music or inside the Elementary Music Summit community,
Yep.
where we're going to be able to, make some goals, get some PD, and have a lot of fun while we're doing it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Bryson.
Thank you so much.